One of the most important skills that you need to learn in organizing your mind, in organizing your time, is learning how to get your priorities in the right order. And I'm going to talk about that in this video. Now, there's a great tendency when you're an entrepreneur to give equal weight to everything, equal weight to every task that you have to fulfill. And quite often, especially when you're just starting out, you find that you have a lot of different tasks to fulfill. You've got to do all sorts of things in your home, in your business, and so on. So you might have to do things like cooking, cleaning, looking after your family, home maintenance, all things that are going to take up your home life, transport, dad's taxi takes everybody where they want to go. In your work life, you may have to look after your websites. You're going to need to find new clients. You're going to have to create products or provide the services. You're going to have to handle correspondence, emails, phone calls, letters, that sort of thing. You're going to have to keep up with the accounts and paying the bills. And it can be very difficult to fit it all in. No wonder our caricature in the middle here looks so glum. So you have to accept when you're an entrepreneur, when you run your business, and even in your life as a whole, that you can't do everything. There's just 24 hours in a day, and you can't do everything that needs to be done. It's just simply not physically possible because, of course, the more things you do, the more things that you find to do. And if you give each of them equal weight, then you soon find yourself in a bit of a problem. So you have to learn to set your priorities. You can't give everything equal weight. And you have to accept that some tasks are more important than others. So what you have to do is you need to learn how to rank tasks in order of importance. And you need to rank them like this, really. First of all, top priority are the tasks that you must do, come what may, come whatever you must do, whatever this task is. And this could be something in your business life, like going out and getting some new clients. It could be something in your home life, like you must pay your mortgage, that sort of thing. And then there's the things that you should do. And these are the things that you should do, and you're going to try your darndest to, but you can't 100% guarantee that you're going to be able to do it because they don't have as high a priority as the things that you must do. And then there's the things that you could do, if there's time. Otherwise, it's no big deal. And then there's the stuff that you can't do. And I suppose this, along with what you must do, is one of the most important categories because you can't do everything. Now, exactly what your top priority is going to be is going to depend a lot on you, on your business, and your circumstances. So when it comes to deciding what sort of priority to give something, you need to ask yourself, if I don't do whatever today, what's the worst thing that can happen? Now, if the consequences are dire, then this task is going to fall into the must-do category. So, for example, if you're not going to pay the mortgage, then you're going to get kicked out of your house, then obviously that comes into the must-do category. If the consequences are inconvenient, then this task will fall into the should-do category. You should do it, you should try and do it, but if you don't, well, there'll be problems, but it won't be a really serious problem. And if the consequences are no big deal, then this task should fall into the could-do category or the can't-do category. And when you're deciding what's going to fall into the can't-do category, you need to learn how to say no without feeling guilty. Now, lots of people have a big hang-up about this, and I suppose it goes back to childhood where you're brought up to please people, so you say yes. And of course, it is easier to say yes to something than it is to say no to something because you don't want to hurt people's feelings and that sort of thing. But when you say yes to everything, you are really not doing yourself any favors because, as I said, you can't do everything. So you need to learn to say no without feeling guilty. And if you don't have the time to do something, then you don't have the time to do something. It's that simple. It's not about being selfish. Lots of people will lay on a guilt trip when you say, oh, no, I can't do this. Oh, really? Why not? Blah, 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 blah. But it's not that way at all. It's not about being selfish. Because when you say no to something, it means that you're able to say yes to something that's more important. So something that goes at a low priority and you say no to it, it means that you're saying yes to having the time to doing something that's more important, that's something that's in the must-do category or the should-do category. Now, there's a very good book on this subject called How to Say No Without Feeling Guilty by Patty Brightman and Connie Hatch, and you can buy it at Amazon.com and good bookstores. And it goes into this in a lot of detail about the psychology of how you say no without feeling guilty. But once you can do that, once you've got that skill, you should be able to get your priorities in order very easily.